People will tell you to strengthen your core if you want to get faster, strengthen your core if you want to prevent injuries. And a lot of people kind of have a misconception of what the core is. A lot of people think the core is simply just your abdominals, your stomach, six-pack abs. But the core is actually a lot more complex than that. The core actually includes the cervical spine, which is your neck, your thoracic spine, which is basically your upper and middle back that holds your rib cage, and then your lumbopelvic hip complex, which is basically your lower back and your hips, your pelvis. And there's tons of different muscles that connect to these bone structures. So essentially your core is from here all the way to here, because there are hip flexors that connect to your pelvis that run all the way down to your knees, which is exactly why if your hips are thrown off, you can have knee pain, you can have lower back pain, even shoulder pain. The core is very crucial for preventing injuries, and you have to have stabilization through the core before you can have strength or power. Today I'm going to show you how to basically engage your core. You'll hear coaches or trainers or people on TV, whatever, talk about engaging your core as you do a lift or as you do a certain exercise. A lot of people, when they lift or do an exercise, especially when they start to struggle, and most athletes are the worst, say I'm doing a squat and it's heavy, so I'm just like this. Okay, so my core is completely unengaged. There's no engagement here at all. All the pressure and tension's in my lower back, and basically my thoracic spine is fully extended and my rib cage is extended. Okay, there's no support here, there's no stabilization here. So basically, if you hear someone say engage your core, you hear me say engage your core, basically you're trying to come into a neutral position. And a lot of that comes from just tilting your hips forward. A lot of people have an anterior pelvic tilt going forward that basically pushes your butt back, makes you bring your chest up, and it puts a lot of pressure on your lower back. That's why a lot of people have lower back pain. So like I said, the pelvis is part of the core because of all the muscles that are attached there. So you actually want to be able to tilt your pelvis forward to engage all these muscles in your core to stay stable and stay strong when you're lifting. So instead of squatting like this, we would stay tight and we would lead with our hips when we squat. Okay? I like to explain it as kind of like an accordion. Okay? An accordion goes in and out. Now if you imagine it going up and down like this, that would be like your core. So you would engage and you would release. Notice how my pelvis moves. There's not a whole lot of movement here. I'm not engaging like this where I'm rounded over. My movement comes through my pelvis, tilting forward and back. So if I was telling an athlete doing a squat, they're getting ready to squat, and I tell them to engage their core, this is what I'm looking for. Tilted pelvis, okay, core is engaged, and then you stay secure. Take the pressure off your lower back and your knees. I'm going to show you an exercise that basically teaches you how to get that movement, because a lot of people are so tight in their hips that they really can't even get a feel for that movement. So I'm going to show you an exercise of how to do that.
Alright, so this is probably the most simple exercise you can do to learn how to engage your core. You're just going to lay on your back, and you're going to have your legs bent, feet are flat on the floor. From there, you're going to put your hands right below your lower back. So see how there's a space here? There's a space right here between my lower back and the floor. So what I'm going to do in this exercise, I'm basically going to try and tilt my pelvis posteriorly this way and close that space flat to the floor. So I'm going to put my hands in that space, and I'm going to close to where I can't pull my hands out because my lower back is flat on my hands. And then I'll come back up, there's space, I can pull out, engage, and close. I can't pull them out. Release, I can pull them out, engage, and stay tight. Now once you get this movement down, you should practice holding that, and then try a very small crunch. And you will notice there is a huge difference in how hard that is. And all the movement should come straight from the core as opposed to through the spine. Okay? So just learn to tilt and engage, flatten out on your hands, and then from there, very small crunches. Don't pull your head up. Don't pull your head up this way. Stay tight in your core. Raise and back down. I'm shaking just doing that. Try it at home.